5-all break point down. Second thoughts on that ball toss?
And he does it again. And not surprising, that reaction. And the break goes the way of Team Russia. When we come back, they serve for a place in the semi-final, 6-5.
Not just the anger, more the decision making with that fresh scar tissue from yesterday.
Both players playing with margin, and then
15-14.
JP Smith flattening out, taking time away from Sandgren.
Code violation, ball abuse, warning Mr. Sandgren. Advantage, Smith. Juice.
I hate this stupid sport!
Love 40.
I bet you do. It's a bit of deja vu with the second set here for Tennys Sandgren.
I hate this stupid sport!
Love 40.
How does that forehand flying work? How?
Juice.
Oh.
Smith works.
Advantage, Smith.
Get to where you're going today.
For sure, and JP Smith trying to keep it together, serving it to 3-all on the third.
It was a great get from Tennys Sandgren. That was bound to happen. Pretty good overhead from JP Smith at the baseline, but that Sandgren's already playing with a warning from when he knocked that ball out of the stadium.
Richard Haig is in the chair from Great Britain.
You're not playing tennis right now, are you?
Point penalty, Mr. Sandgren, 30 left.
The previous warning, a point penalty.
Purely to make the game a little bit longer. I reckon that one was less than a minute. 35 seconds. Kyrgios holds and leads 2-1 in the second set, but Müller took the opener 6-3. Their first match against Nadal, Federer and Djokovic. He beat Nadal, Wimbledon 2014, Federer, Madrid 2015, Djokovic, Acapulco 2017. The only other person to do that was Leighton Hewitt. Again, chatting away to the chair umpire, Adel Noor.
That was just a little conversation about towel etiquette.
Oh. Thanks, mate.
He's got to stay somewhat in touch.
And that's what he gets. Change of ends after 6 points.
Thank you. No, just admit it. No, just admit it and just say thanks. Because it's whose job is it? Thank you.
Kyrgios telling Abdel Noor how to do his job here, asking him to keep an eye on the ball kids to make sure that balls are always ready for him to serve.
There's a name for that specific kind. I can't remember. It'll keep the leg warm.
Why would you not call it? If you hear it, why would you not call it?
15 off.
Even though the machine doesn't go off, you can still call that. You know that.
Umpires tend to rely on the machine more often than not. And just again, those players right at the very top in a little bit of trouble here.
Why is the time the same when I have to walk back and forth to the club?
He's just asking. Just arguing about having to walk all the way back to pick up the towel and the time it takes to do that. But the experience.
I like the intensity of that movement. When Nick moves that aggressively, it's very dangerous.
He leads 5-2 in the opening sets. So still continuing discussion about the towel box, and this is an adjustment for the players, and it's on the bigger courts. So on the smaller courts, this western side, it's not going to be an issue because they're not that far back. The fence isn't that far back, but here it does take a while to get the towel.
It's a valid point, that he has. Why is the time on the clock the same when he has to walk and retrieve the towel?
Well, my response to that is, don't use the towel.
Yeah.
15 all.
The problem is that's why it's so difficult to string together sequences of points, because Nick Kyrgios can get out of trouble that quickly.
Again, the discussion about the towel and the time and the clock, which has actually stopped, by the way, as he was having that discussion. On the side of the court and a little bit closer in. But let's see what happens here.
I don't get fined for it. No, I want to talk about it now. I've lost enough money to educate us.
Eventually, Kyrgios holds.
Kyrgios leads 6 games to 5.
We're going to have another sit down. We're on serve at 6-5 in the second set, and anything could happen here.
Avantage de Gerasimov. Avantage Gerasimov.
Bedene suggesting that the umpire has called good the previous ace, which was pretty much in the same place down the centre.
Obscenity, warning, Mr. Bedene.
Now he's got a warning.
Because it's 3-all, choose. The tournament doesn't have a challenge system. It's important point. 2 balls in the same game, and I cannot say one F word. I mean, it's not the worst.
Well, it is when you're on global television. Sometimes we've seen that this week. A little.
Kalkes. 40-50.
Well, Bedene's trying to call his own serve out here. You see it sometimes, particularly when a return is absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Well, the umpire might as well say back to him, hang on a minute, I thought you wanted the balls in. Well, it's no laughing matter for Aljaž Bedene. His serve called in and Gerasimov has won the point with a brilliant return, but Bedene is insisting his serve was out. He wants the second serve.
Let for serve.
Second serve.
So just to clarify what happened there on the previous serve, it was a foot fault and a let, but the umpire was distracted by the let cord, called that because the umpire's in charge of that calling. Didn't quite notice that the baseline judge had called it a foot fault. Down to bed.
Set a match, Gerasimov.
And a 7-5 tie, a 7-4 tie break it is. Terrible is Aljaž Bedene's assessment.
Oh, he took an almighty swing at that unnecessarily. The court was wide open, and that's the match for Dan Evans.
Very much an out of sorts pair at the moment. And that's indicative of just how he's feeling.
Fortunately, I'd never condone, someone throwing a racket in any way, let alone breaking it, but he needs to let something out, Benoît Paire. There's so much tension built up in his body now, frustration. He's got to try.
Missed it, and that's the frustration that's surely been building, because Fognini would have thought by now he may have been in the locker room with a comfortable victory. Instead, this match has done a 360.
Revelation Rakitic warning, seeing Italy.
Oh, it was like Mount Vesuvius, wasn't it? Building up, it had to happen. The eruption. And isn't it? It's so entertaining. Again, you never condone that kind of behaviour on the court, but.